In the theater of romance, men rarely speak the lines we expect. Their truest feelings aren't found in grand declarations or midnight texts, but in the quiet spaces between words and what they do when no one is watching. The most dangerous illusion in modern relationships isn't being unloved. It's misreading the evidence that's right before our eyes. For centuries, we've been conditioned to believe love is what someone says. But what if everything we've been taught about men's affection is fundamentally wrong? What if the most profound truths about love have been hidden in plain sight, not in words that evaporate into air, but in actions that remain when all promises have faded? This revelation transformed thousands of women's relationships after they discovered one simple truth: a man's love isn't heard, it's witnessed. There's something no one tells you about men's love. No matter what they say, what they truly feel is always reflected in what they do. If you don't know how to identify the right signals, you could end up trapped in a relationship where they confuse you, give you false hope, and then leave you with more questions than answers. But today, that's going to change. In this video, I'll reveal the definitive signs that a man truly loves you without you having to ask him. By the end, you won't just know with certainty, but you'll also understand how to stop accepting less than you deserve. Stay until the end, because that's where I'll give you the definitive key to knowing if you're with someone who truly values you or if you're just wasting your time. 1. He doesn't say "I love you" all the time, but demonstrates it silently. If a man truly loves you, he won't show it with a constant bombardment of empty words. He doesn't need to say "I love you" every 5 minutes because his love is reflected in his actions. This is where many people get confused. They expect love to come with grand speeches, exaggerated promises, and intense declarations, but the reality is different. True love doesn't shout, it's felt. Carl Jung said that people will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own soul. This is key to understanding the difference between authentic love and empty love. Many men say they love, but are actually just projecting their need for companionship, validation, or filling an emotional void. A man who truly loves you doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. His love is reflected in what he does when no one is watching. Fact 1. Actions speak louder than 1,000 words. Think about this. A man who constantly says he loves you but disappears when you need him. Does he really love you? Or does he just like the idea of being with you but isn't willing to do the real work? A man who loves you doesn't keep you waiting. If he says he'll be somewhere at a certain time, he's there. If he promises something, he fulfills it. He doesn't confuse you, doesn't play with your mind, doesn't make you feel insecure, doesn't disappear, only to come back as if nothing happened. He is consistent, not loving one day and distant the next without apparent reason. How do you identify if his love is real or just empty words? Observe how he acts when no one is forcing him to. Does he take care of you without you asking? Does he think about you in the small details? Is he there in the moments that really matter? Watch how he reacts when you're going through a bad time. Does he listen and support you? Or does he distance himself because he doesn't want drama? Does he look for solutions with you? Or does he disappear until everything calms down? Pay attention to his body language. Does he look at you attentively when you're speaking? Or is he distracted? Does he seek you out physically in a natural way? Or only when it's convenient for him? When real love is felt without words, men who truly love do so in subtle but powerful ways. They protect you without making a scene about it. They make sure you get home safely. They ask if you need anything without you having to ask. They make you feel secure in their presence. You don't have to guess if they're with you or not. You feel it. They are constant. They don't disappear when it's convenient for them, and they don't need excuses to show you that you're in their life. Fact 2. If a man loves you, his love is a certainty, not a question. Many times people confuse uncertainty with excitement. If you have to constantly ask yourself if you really matter to him, you already have your answer. Real love doesn't generate anxiety, it generates security. If you feel more confused than happy in the relationship, something isn't right. A man who loves you doesn't play with your emotions, doesn't ignore you so you'll miss him, doesn't treat you coldly so you'll chase him, doesn't use manipulation to make you doubt yourself. He is present even when there's no immediate benefit. He doesn't only seek you out when he needs something from you. If the answer to the last question is no, then his love may not be as genuine as you think. True love is constant, not impulsive. The problem is that many people confuse intensity with love. They believe that if someone isn't exaggeratedly romantic or passionate, it means they don't feel anything. But real love isn't explosive, it's stable. It's not momentary euphoria, it's constant commitment. And here comes something key. When a man truly loves you, he stays even when the initial emotion disappears. In the next point, I'll explain why this is the definitive proof of true love. 2. He stays even when the initial emotion disappears. True love isn't just emotion. It isn't just attraction. It isn't just adrenaline. It's stability, commitment, and presence, even when the initial euphoria fades away. Anyone can get excited in the first few months when everything is new, when each message creates butterflies, and when differences haven't yet come to light. But real love begins when the emotion subsides, and what remains is reality. Carl Jung said that the meeting of two people is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. This means that true love isn't something static, but a constant evolution. It's not just what you feel at the beginning, it's what you build over time. Fact 1. Immature love is impulsive. Real love is constant. It's easy to confuse love with emotion, but here's the truth. If a man's love depends on the emotion of the moment, it's not love, it's entertainment. Immature love is based on euphoria. Mature love on decision. Immature love needs constant stimulation. Real love is stable without needing proof. Immature love gets tired when flaws appear. Real love accepts imperfection. How do you know if a man is with you out of emotion or real love? Does he continue to make an effort after the initial stage? Is he still interested in knowing your world after months or years? Does he make you feel special without there being a specific reason? Is he present when there are difficulties? A man who only loves you in good times doesn't really love you. Does he support you when you have problems? Or does he disappear until everything calms down? Does he treat you with the same attention and respect over time? Consistency is one of the clearest proofs of genuine love. Do you still feel equally valued after time? Or has everything cooled without reason? When a man truly loves you, interest doesn't disappear. When a man truly loves you, he doesn't run away at the first disagreements. He knows that real relationships have ups and downs. He doesn't look for excitement elsewhere. He doesn't need new experiences to continue valuing you. He chooses you every day because he understands that love is a decision, not just a sensation. Practical exercise to evaluate the stability of his love. If you want to know if the love given to you is authentic, do the following. Remember how his behavior was at the beginning of the relationship and compare it with now. Is the attention and interest maintained, or has everything died down? Think about the difficult moments you've been through together. Did he stay, or did he distance himself until everything improved? Observe if he continues to show affection without there being a special reason. Is he only affectionate on important dates, or does he always maintain details with you? Make a list of the times he has demonstrated his love with actions and not with words. If the list is short, perhaps his love isn't as real as you believe. Real love doesn't fade with routine. A relationship based only on emotion is destined to wear out when novelty disappears. But when there is true love, the connection deepens over time. Both work on the relationship without needing crises to react. Commitment doesn't depend on emotion, but on the decision to build together. If a man loves you, his love won't be intermittent. It won't appear only when it suits him, and won't depend on the emotion of the moment. It will be a constant, even when the initial emotion has disappeared. But here comes the definitive test. When problems appear, immature love runs away. But real love stays and looks for solutions. And we'll talk about that in the next point. 3. He doesn't run away when there are problems. He stays and looks for solutions. Anyone can be in a relationship when everything is easy, when there are no arguments, when everything is harmony. But the true test of love appears when problems arise. That's when you see who is really committed and who was only there because it was convenient. Carl Jung said that one doesn't reach enlightenment by fantasizing about the light, but by making darkness conscious. In a relationship, this means that real love isn't based only on the beautiful moments, but on the ability to go through difficult moments together. If a man runs away as soon as there's a problem, it's not love, it's comfort. Fact 1. The way he handles conflicts says more than 1,000 words. Pay close attention to how he reacts when things don't go well. Does he ignore you until everything cools down? Or does he face it with maturity? Does he blame you for everything? Or does he try to understand the problem? Does he avoid the conversation? Or is he willing to talk about it without fear? A man who loves you doesn't disappear when there's tension. He doesn't leave you with the uncertainty of whether he'll return or not. He stays, faces the situation, and looks for a solution. How do you identify if a man is emotionally committed? When there's a disagreement, does he listen, or does he become defensive? Real love doesn't fear discomfort. It uses it as an opportunity to strengthen the relationship. If his immediate reaction is to blame you or avoid you, he's not ready to truly love. Is he capable of apologizing when he's wrong? An immature man will defend his ego above the relationship. A man who really loves you, even if it's difficult for him, will recognize when he's wrong and will seek to improve. Does he work with you to improve the relationship, or does he just want everything to be easy? If his interest in the relationship only exists when everything is good, then it's not real love. Real commitment is noticed when he's willing to make adjustments for the well-being of both. Many people confuse love with company, but if he's only there when everything is easy and runs away, when there are difficulties, what he's looking for isn't love but comfort. Real love implies commitment even when there are disagreements. It doesn't mean everything will be perfect, but that both will be willing to work on it. A man who loves you doesn't see problems as an obstacle, but as an opportunity to strengthen the relationship. Fact 3. If he can't solve problems with you, he's not ready for a real relationship. Lasting relationships aren't those that never have conflicts, but those in which both people know how to resolve them. If he runs away every time there's an argument, he's not emotionally available for a real relationship. He hasn't learned to handle stress without escaping. He only seeks comfort, not commitment. Practical exercise to identify his level of commitment. If you want to know if a man really loves you and is willing to face problems with you, do this. Remember the last time you had a conflict. How did he handle it? Did you talk about it, or did he simply let time resolve it? Observe if after an argument he's still affectionate and attentive, or if he uses the conflict as an excuse to distance himself. Analyze if he's willing to find solutions, or if he just wants everything to be forgotten without resolving it. Real love is built in storms, not just on sunny days. If a man really loves you, he'll stay when the relationship faces difficulties. He won't run away when something gets complicated because he knows that what you have is bigger than any disagreement. But there's something even more important. A man who really loves you, besides staying in difficult moments, respects you, even when you don't agree with him. And we'll talk about that in the next point. 4. He respects you even when you don't agree with him. True love isn't possession. It isn't control. It isn't domination. It's mutual respect, even in differences. A man who really loves you doesn't need you to think like him. He doesn't need you to agree with everything, much less to submit as a person with your own ideas, emotions, and decisions. Carl Jung talked about individuation, the process in which each person becomes their most complete and independent version. In a healthy relationship, love doesn't absorb or nullify you, but allows you to be yourself without fear. Fact 1. A man who truly loves you doesn't need to control you. Respect isn't negotiable. If a man belittles you, ridicules you, or tries to impose himself on you, that's not love. It's insecurity disguised as affection. An immature man believes he needs to control you to feel secure in the relationship. A man who really loves you trusts you and respects your decisions. Look at how he acts when you have different opinions. Does he listen to you or invalidate you? Does he accept that you can think differently without attacking you? Is he willing to learn from you, or does he just want to impose his point of view? How do you know if a man really respects you? He tolerates disagreement without becoming defensive. If every time you don't agree with him, he gets angry or makes you feel bad, it's not love, it's manipulation. He respects your space and your independence. A man who loves you doesn't need to control you or know what you're doing every second. He doesn't jealously guard you without reason, doesn't limit your friendships or your personal decisions. He supports you in your goals and aspirations. True love not only respects you, but also drives you to grow. If he constantly minimizes your dreams or makes you feel less capable, that's not love. It's insecurity disguised as protection. He respects your emotions or invalidates them. A man who loves you doesn't tell you you're exaggerating or it's not a big deal when you express what you feel. Instead of minimizing what's happening to you, he tries to understand it. Fact 2. A man who respects you makes you feel free in the relationship. Many people believe that love means absolute sacrifice, but the reality is different. A healthy relationship is one where you feel free to be who you are without fear of judgment. You don't need to hide what you think to avoid conflicts. You don't feel that you have to change for him to stay. You are heard, valued, and respected in every conversation. A man who really loves you doesn't punish you with silence, doesn't make you feel guilty for thinking differently, and doesn't condition his affection. He respects you as an equal. Fact 3. He doesn't use emotional manipulation to have control over you. How did he react? Did he listen or make you feel bad for thinking differently? Observe how he talks about other women. Does he respect them, or does he constantly criticize and minimize them? Ask yourself if you feel afraid to express your thoughts in front of him. If the answer is yes, that's a big warning sign. Think about the times you've wanted to do something for yourself. Has he supported you or made you feel selfish for it? Real love doesn't crush your identity, it enhances it. If a man truly loves you, he respects you in all situations, even when you don't agree with him. He doesn't need to dominate you, doesn't need to control you, doesn't need to make you feel less to feel stronger. But there's a higher level in real love. When a man truly loves you, he not only respects you, but makes you feel secure without you having to ask for it. And that's exactly what we'll see in the next point. 5. He makes you feel secure in his love without you having to ask for it. When a man really loves you, he leaves no room for doubts, uncertainty, or mind games. You don't need to wonder if you really matter to him, because his actions confirm it to you every day. He doesn't leave you in a constant state of anxiety, wondering if he'll be present today or if he'll distance himself without explanation tomorrow. Carl Jung said, "What you deny subjects you. What you accept transforms you." In love, this means that a man who is sure of what he feels doesn't play with ambiguity or with the insecurity of the other. He loves you in a clear, open way and without fear. Fact 1. A man who loves you doesn't make you doubt his love. If you constantly ask yourself, do I really matter to him, or is he just with me out of habit? Why is he affectionate one day and distant the next? Why do I feel I have to do something more so he doesn't lose interest? Then his love isn't clear, and most likely, it's not as deep as you believe. Real love gives security, not anxiety. How do you know if a man gives you emotional stability? His love is constant, not intermittent. He doesn't treat you well only when it's convenient for him. He doesn't disappear without reason, only to return as if nothing had happened. He prioritizes you without you having to ask. You're not his option when he has time, but someone important in his life. He's genuinely interested in you and what happens to you. He doesn't play with uncertainty. He doesn't use tactics like ghosting to make you miss him. He doesn't make you feel that you have to earn his love constantly. His love gives you tranquility, not anxiety. You don't have to check his phone or wonder who he's with. You don't feel the need to prove your worth to him so he doesn't leave you. Fact 2. Emotional stability is the true test of love. When a man really loves you, his love is a refuge, not a battlefield. You don't feel emotionally exhausted trying to decipher him. You don't live in fear of doing something that drives him away. You don't need to ask him to value you because he does it naturally. How does a man who gives emotional stability behave? He communicates his feelings clearly. He doesn't leave you in uncertainty about what he feels. He doesn't use silence as punishment. If there's a problem, he talks about it. He doesn't disappear. He doesn't generate unnecessary insecurity. He doesn't flirt with other people to make you feel jealous. He's coherent with his actions. What he says and what he does are aligned. Practical exercise to evaluate his real love. If you want to know if a man really gives you emotional security, do this. Note each time he makes you feel valued without you asking for it. Observe if there are more moments of calm than anxiety in the relationship. Ask yourself if you could trust him with your emotions without fear of his reaction. Imagine that you can no longer ask him if he loves you. Would you still feel loved just by his actions? If you realize that you spend more time worried than enjoying the relationship, perhaps it's not the love you deserve. Real love doesn't make you compete for his attention. When a man really loves you, he makes you feel secure in his love without you having to beg for it. He doesn't test you, doesn't make you doubt, and doesn't play with your feelings. And now that you know this, ask yourself, are you with someone who really gives you love, or is he just getting you accustomed to living with uncertainty? Love shouldn't be an emotional roller coaster. It should be a refuge, a place where you find peace, security, and stability. And if it's not, then it's not love, it's dependency disguised as affection. Conclusion: real love is certainty, not confusion. If there's one thing you should remember from this entire video, it's this. When a man really loves you, you know it. You don't doubt it. You don't question it. You don't find yourself waiting for contradictory signals. Real love is felt with clarity, with stability, with security. It doesn't make you live with anxiety, doesn't keep you on an emotional roller coaster, doesn't force you to guess what he feels. Carl Jung said that until the unconscious is made conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. This means that if you continue accepting half-loves, unstable relationships, and empty promises, you'll end up believing that's normal. But love isn't suffering. Love isn't uncertainty. Love isn't constant struggle. If a man really loves you, you don't have to chase him because he's present without you asking. You don't have to guess if you matter to him because he shows you every day. You don't have to sacrifice your peace of mind to keep him close. You don't have to become someone different for him to value you. Your self-love defines the type of love you accept. Now the question is for you, are you accepting less than you deserve? Have you confused love with dependency? Have you gotten used to uncertainty just because you believe there's nothing better? Because let me tell you something, when you love yourself enough, you no longer accept emotional crumbs. You no longer tolerate loves that are only there when it's convenient for them. You no longer settle for someone who makes you feel insecure in the relationship. Love, in its purest form, is not an enigma to be decoded but a presence to be witnessed. The silence of certainty speaks louder than the noise of doubt. When we finally understand that authentic love never leaves us questioning its existence, we step into a profound truth that transforms not just our relationships, but our very perception of what we deserve. The greatest paradox of human connection is this: the moment you demand clarity is the moment you begin receiving it. A man who truly loves you creates a sanctuary of certainty amidst life's chaos, not through elaborate promises, but through the quiet dignity of consistent action. Don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss the upcoming videos. In this space, we explore the depth of the human mind, the power of the unconscious, and the way our relationships reflect our own growth. See you in the next video.